Hello guys, my name is Zizi, also known as Zizi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am an internal auditor by profession, but I'm also a car fanatic, which is why I decided to start a YouTube channel. I am hoping that this channel will be a platform for people to learn, for people to share information, basically to share anything and everything related to cars. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about, or the first things I'm going to be discussing today, are 6 things I feel like everyone should know before buying a car. The first being your credit score. Now, you know guys, when you go apply for a loan, the first thing the bank looks at is your credit score. They use the credit score as a risk assessment tool to see how risky it is to actually lend you money, which is why it's important to work on your credit score. Also guys, a good credit score will result in a low interest rate. So that's why I think it's extremely important to have a good credit score, because when you have a good one, you get a lower interest on the actual loan that you apply for. I know there is an app called ClearScore where you can look at your credit score. They also provide you with a credit report so you have an idea of where you stand. So guys, work on your credit, build up on your credit. It will change your life. You will get a lower interest with a good credit score. So yeah, the next thing I'm going to be talking about is the types of financing, or the financing options available. So I know there's more, but I'm only going to focus on 2, which is your installment sale agreements and your full maintenance lease. Now, an installment sale agreement works in this way. I think it's the most common, the one most people know. You go to the dealership, you enter into contract, you buy the car. Basically, the car will belong to you after the term has ended. So you put down a deposit, or maybe you pick a balloon payment option, and the costs, like cost of depreciation, insurance, your trackers, your on the road costs, you have to pay for all of that. But then the nice thing about this is that at the end of the term, it's yours. Now, the full maintenance lease, you are basically leasing the car from the company. So you get there, you enter into a contract, and then you pay a monthly premium. Obviously, the monthly premium is lower than the installment sale. And this type of arrangement, I feel like, is more ideal for people who have smaller business or like a business. I don't think it's ideal for personal use. So this one, you pay the monthly premium that they have. The nice thing about this one is that you don't have to worry about insurance or your trackers or on the road costs. They cover everything. They will pay for everything. And also the models, as the models change, you get a newer model, so you don't drive the same car. I think like during the term you drive different cars. That's a nice thing. I don't know, I'm not sure how it affects your premium though, but I think they change it up. And then also you don't have to worry about a deposit or a balloon payment. But what I don't like about this is the fact that there's the kilometers are capped, so you can't really travel as much as you want, so you can't go on road trips, which is why I said it's ideal for business. Because let's say you're in a town and you only deliver around that town, it's perfect. I feel like if it's ideal for business. So yeah, basically, so installment sale, the nice thing about it, it's yours at the end of the term. And the full maintenance lease, it's cheaper to have a maintenance lease than it is an installment sale. However, the kilometers are capped. And also guys, I forgot to mention, if you go bankrupt, or maybe you come to a point where you don't have money, normally with an installment sale, the car would be repossessed. With the full maintenance lease, you have to pay a hefty fine it's like a penalty fee for actually not meeting your obligation, because you entered into a contract which is for a certain period. So if you fail to meet your obligation, then you have to pay a fine. Or if maybe you decide, maybe you don't go bankrupt, but you decide you don't want to be part of the contract anymore, then you still have to pay that amount, that fine. It's like when you enter into a cell phone contract. If you decide, but no, I don't want this anymore, or this is not working for me, then you still have to pay a fine. And apparently it's a very high fine. So yeah. And then the next thing I'm going to talk about is your balloon payment. Now, a balloon payment, guys, works in the same way or a similar way as a deposit, as it reduces your monthly installment. However, I always call a balloon payment a trap, because I feel like it's not worth it, guys. Anyway, so a balloon payment is basically a deferred payment. It's a payment that you make at the end of the term. So if you buy a car for, let's say, 200,000, and the percentage, or the balloon payment percentage, is 40%. So 40% of 200,000 is 80,000. That 80,000 is still due at the end of the term. So it's not ideal, guys. It does reduce the monthly installment significantly, and I think that's why people opt for a balloon payment, because they see how it affects their monthly installment. But then again, when you're buying a car or something like a car, you always have to think future. Think about when the term has ended. You don't know what you're gonna have or what you're not gonna have, or if you even be able to save money aside. Because if you opt for a balloon payment, you will have to have like a savings account separately where you save money. Like the 80,000, for instance, if you take a 40% balloon payment on a 200,000 car, you will have to have the 80,000. So for the 6 years, or for the 5 years you are in a contract, you will have to save that money, so that at the end of the term you pay back the bank. If you do not have the money, you will owe the bank, and also, guys, it will affect your credit score negatively. And then also, if you don't have the money, the bank will be lenient, and they'll say, okay, fine, we'll make this a personal loan, or rather a loan. And then, but then the terrible thing about this is that the interest rate, it goes high, because now you failed to meet the obligation. You failed to have the money because you said you would have the money, and they don't need the money, they want their money. So now they're gonna make you pay just for doing that. So they're gonna charge a higher interest, and so it's not ideal. So if you fail to make the payments, it affects your credit score, and also you end up paying more money you would have paid if you had just saved up a deposit. So guys, if you have an option of a balloon payment, don't take it. Rather go back home and save money on the deposit, which will also lower or reduce your monthly installment. And then thirdly, I'll be talking about interest rates. Now, this is how there's two types of interest rates. There's your linked and your fixed. The fixed interest rate is well, obvious. It doesn't change, so it stays the same from the beginning of the term to the end of the term. And then the linked, or the variable interest rate, it's linked to the prime rate or the repo rate. It changes as the repo rate changes. So when it goes up, it also goes up. When it goes down, it also goes down. So I was not about taking a risk, so I took the fixed interest rate. So I know most business people or business-minded people will be like, no, take a linked or a variable, and they have their reasons. But I took a fixed interest rate because I felt safer with the interest rate. So weigh your options, do some research, talk to people or financial advisors or whoever is more experienced in that field, and they'll advise you which interest is ideal. But I took fixed interest rate. And then also, guys, the things I'm gonna mention the things that the banks take into account when they determine your interest rate. The first being your credit profile. They have a look at your credit profile. If you got a good credit score, you get a lower interest. If you got a bad credit score, you get a high interest. And then they also look at the age of the vehicle. If you've got a newer model, you get lower interest than if you had an older model. The reason for this is because a newer model has a higher trade-in value than an older model. And then the other thing is the length of the term. So the lengthier the term, the higher the interest. Yeah. So rather opt for a shorter term. So a shorter term will result in a lower interest. And also the amount of deposit that you put in. So the higher the deposit, the lower the interest. So it's always best to save as much deposit as you can. It will also affect your interest, guys. So yeah. So as I said earlier, your deposit, I'm not going to say much about deposit. You need to save up on your deposit. Save up as much as you can on your deposit. It will affect your not only your interest, it will affect your interest, your installment. It's just a better option. And also, if you have a high deposit, you will not need to have a balloon payment. So yeah, guys. And then the last things I'm going to be talking about are going to be I think three things that confuse people the most, which is your service plan, your maintenance plan, and your warranty. So guys, the service plan is basically, it pays for your services, your regular services, because most with a car you need to take it in for a service, because a car is like a checkup. A service is like a checkup for the car. So a car, all the cars, well, most cars I know, need to get a service every year or every 15,000 kilometers. So basically a service pays for the labor and the standard parts that are going to be replaced, and that's basically it. They don't look at anything major. They just they replace your consumables if necessary. So they'll replace your coolants, your oils, your brake fluid, and they also look at your spark plugs if they're still fine, and that's basically it. That's basically what a service plan entails. And then a maintenance plan, it's got all the elements of a service plan. However, it also covers for mechanical failures and for wear and tear items. So it's I think it's advisable if you have a new car, if you bought a new car, to have a maintenance plan. Yes. And the warranty, guys, warranty basically, it's a promise from the manufacturer. The manufacturer gives you the car, well, you buy the car and you get the car. The manufacturer tells you, so the next 120,000 kilometers, this car is not going to give you any mechanical failure or any electrical failures. If it does, you can bring it back to me and I'll fix it. This is for the whole 120,000 for that duration, 120,000 kilometers. So after 120,000, it's on you. So basically that's what a warranty is. It's basically saying that if this car gives you problems for this duration or for this period, I'll fix anything that you might have a problem with. But then also, guys, take note of the things that are covered. Like I said, your wear and tear items, like your what you call this, your light bulbs, your shock absorbers, your wipers, such things, they're not covered by your warranty. Your maintenance plan covers such things. Your warranty mainly focuses on the major stuff, like your clutches, your engines, like the big stuff. That's what a warranty covers, because those things are things that are supposed to last for at least 120,000 and not give you issues, which is why the warranty is in place. So if they give you issues before that, they have to fix it. So yeah, basically that's the difference. I hope I was clear enough. If there was anything that I was not clear on, please comment below and please provide constructive criticism. I am open to criticism because this is also a learning environment, and I'm also learning as I go. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and share with your friends. Okay, I think that's it. Bye.